Good morning, you absolute legends. So this morning we're going to touch on change and change management. And as leaders, managing change is a very challenging part, or can be a very challenging part of what we do. And it's something that comes up often. And we're going to talk today about how it doesn't necessarily have to be as challenging as it often is. And that's in how we approach managing change. And first and foremost, when change is occurring within a company, you have to acknowledge that people like change just as much as you do, which innately as human beings, we just generally hate change. And so how do we make that as comfortable as possible? Well, the way we do that is we get our people involved as early as we possibly can, especially the loudest, the most influential, and the most trusted people within your team. So the first thing you want to do is you want to gather those people and you want to communicate what's going on within the organization. You want to be able to frame it in a way that not only talks about the change from the perspective of how it's going to benefit the business, but you want to talk about the change from the perspective of how it's going to impact them and potentially for the better, in line with what the business needs, but also what they're trying to achieve. And ultimately, they're going to be trying to achieve one of a few things, and it could be something like career progression, it could be something like stability, it could be something like earning more money. And so ultimately you need to attach the underlying reason and cause for the change to that thing that is driving them in their day-to-day life. Once you have them on board, you start to work through how to implement that change by asking them what they think some of the options are that we can come up with to implement the change. And then ultimately work through those options, pick one that works for the general collective of the working group, and then also work together on how to deliver it to the wider team. And that is ultimately how you can deliver change in a way that you experience the absolute least resistance and you have the most efficacy or is as effective as it possibly can be.